check this out. We're back at it again with your guy, ME Drip. And I got another conversation I want to talk to y'all about. And this time, what I want to talk to y'all about is about like how to manage traveling while you're out on the road, right? So I'm gonna give you some tips I learned to get yourself in position to be a traveler, and then also some stuff to help you while you're out on the road, right? So we're gonna go ahead and get to it. So number one, right? First and foremost, you got to stable income. Find you some stable income. Now, if you're traveling on the road, you can't get no. There's several ways where you can go about this, right? You can't get no job, right? If you want to be the employee, right? Because there's two ways you can go be employee or the business owner. You can't get no job being in the office. Now, if you want to be in the office, get your employee benefits package and save up some money and then pivot, right? Then you can do that. But when you want to go on the road, you need your remote job. You can't get no desk job, right? And it don't need to, with your remote job, you need to make sure it's 100% remote. You do not need to be on site or hybrid. Now, if you do say hybrid and you want to take hybrid, cool. Hybrid basically means you'll come in the office sometime and on the road, right? But if you do take hybrid, you need to say, hey, are y'all gonna cut your travel expenses need to be covered for by the company, or you need to be able to, if they say, hey, we can't do that, you need to make enough money where it can cover itself, where you can eat that cost without it hurting you. If that makes sense. So that's number one. So you got to get you some stable income. Business side, y'all obviously know if you want into a business, invest in a business where it allows you to be remote. You can do several things. Online tutor. It's a bunch of things with a business where you can allow you to be online tutor. You can sell products online. You can be a counselor, consultant, or stock investor, cold caller, virtual assistant. Find you a business where it allows you to be digital. Or if it ain't digital, right, find you a business where you can be the owner investor and have an owner operator come in every day and run the day to day while you work on the paperwork aspect, the administration aspect, which is working on the business. If you can work on the business while you're on the road, then you win. So that's number one. Have you gotta have some income before you make that move. So have you some and how much you need, it all really depends on your situation, right? If you're a single guy, right, and you're a young single guy, you can get away with 2 to 3 thousand being on the road. Because when you overseas and traveling and stuff like that, a lot of these places they cheap. So you can get away with having 2 to 3 thousand. And you can still have enough to, spend. But if you really wanna, for both, regardless of the situation, you really want to be peaches and gravy, 5 to 10, 5 to 10 racks. That's a good position. Now you can do 4 to 10. That's good. Anywhere in that range, and your business bringing in at least, or whatever you're doing, at least bring you 50,000 a year, 40 to 50,000 a year and up. Then you're good. You're great, right? So, that's number one. The second thing is y'all gotta get y'all passport. That's number one. And y'all have to keep in mind, passport takes a long time to get done. Sometimes it may take 36 months wait. So in the meantime, you need to be working. Get your passport. And another thing you gotta keep in mind is with your passport, you can't, if you one of the ones that's aggressive, attitude problem, anger issues and stuff like that, you need to get mental help first. Because when you're traveling on the road and stuff like that, you can't get no record. If you get a record on the road, it's gonna be hard going through the airport. Some places they not even let you in their country. So if y'all one of the ones who quote unquote like to stand on business, when y'all feel threatened and stuff like that, or y'all like to quote unquote squash people and stuff like that, y'all got that type of mentality, then this ain't for you. Because you can't get no record while you're on the road. They'll limit a lot of stuff you can do, a lot of places you can go. Maybe in America you go to Hawaii or something like that, but you don't want to limit yourself to just a few places. You want to have your options open, regardless if you don't want to go to that place or not. It's always good to have it rather than not have it. So get your passport, make sure your anger and stuff is in check, and don't get no record while you're on the road. You can't afford to get no record on the road. Another thing is when before y'all take off and stuff like that, all that stuff that you got, the life that you built there, wherever you at, you need to get rid of it. If you got insurance there, car insurance and stuff like that, get rid of it. If you got a lease and stuff like that, get out of it. If you got a car, sell it. If you got anything that requires like subscriptions and stuff like that, get rid of it. You don't, you're not gonna need all this stuff. You need to, unless you have more income where you can eat it and then travel. But if you don't have more income and you're working to that point, man, you gotta cut your expenses down. Cut them expenses down, right? And then let your money stack up because some of that stuff y'all don't need to leave. Y'all need to spring clean y'all situation. Get rid of some of that stuff. Don't keep all that because what happens is that allows you to have more spending power when it comes to travel. And I'm telling you this for like some of y'all ones who want to travel from country to country, it's gonna cost you a band for a one-way travel. It's gonna cost you a band, and sometimes two, three bands depending on the type of season and year it is, right? So you're gonna need that. That's another reason. Cut them expenses down, and then, or if you have a house, let's say if you have a house, right? If you have a house and you're like, I don't want to sell my house, cool. You don't want to sell your house, cool. If you sell your house, it's great. You just got more money. But if you don't want to sell your house, cool. Somebody get in the real estate game, move somebody else in your property, swallow your pride. Be like, I don't want nobody in my house. Swallow your pride. You got a whole nother different vision, and it ain't going to align with that. Unless you got the money where you can just pay rent and stuff like that. But me personally, I wouldn't even do that because that's a liability at that point. Your house, in some ways, already a liability, right? But it's even more of a liability. You just got it sitting there. You're not even coming to it. So get in the real estate game, move somebody in your house, get you a tenant, move somebody in the house, and let them pay you every month. So that's another. You live in an apartment, like I said, if you own a lease, get rid of it. You really need a month lease. If you can get out your lease ASAP, get out your lease ASAP. Go sell your car. Get rid of all this stuff. And you're gonna ask, how can I get around? You need to get your Airbnb that's in a location where it's walking distance to everything. Some of the Airbnbs I use, especially to get to the point where I'm at now, I had to get some that was in downtown. It was right near restaurants, it was right near grocery stores, it was near a convention. So I was in the middle of everything. So all I had to do was go from this floor to the bottom floor and then walk 5, 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes to get where I need to be. So all you need is a good location where you can get your basic needs, right? And then you just gotta chill, work, 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 and then stack your money up, and then you can make a move, right? Uh, but if you can't do that, you're not gonna win because like you got to swallow your pride. If y'all have a certain lifestyle and stuff like that, and you want to travel more or be on the road on a month-to-month basis, then you got to swallow your pride. You got to live. If you really can't maneuver like that, you got to struggle for a little while, right? You got to delay instant gratification for forever satisfaction. So that's another. When you cut them expenses down, you will have enough money. Another one, if y'all can, especially y'all got good credit. If you ain't got good credit overseas, it don't matter overseas. Now, if you go to a Western side of the world, for people that's on the Western side or who want to go to the Western side, good credit don't necessarily matter, right? Uh, but it all depends on what you're trying to do. What for those who got good credit, it helps you in one way, and it can help you in several ways too, because it can give you some investment money and stuff like that if you choose to invest. But if you have you some travel cards, some travel credit cards, right? Uh, you can take advantage of them rewards programs and stuff like that, where you can get better flights and better benefits and stuff like that. But if you ain't got good credit, you still don't need it. You can ride economy, ride the basic flight. Yeah, your legs gonna hurt. You need to stretch and stuff like that. Your back gonna hurt a little bit, but hey, sometimes you just gotta struggle for a little while and then come out on top later. So it don't matter about the journey; it's about the destination, right? So if your destination is important, the journey won't matter. So make sure you get travel cards. And also for the people who want to go to the western side of the world, right? The American stuff that they tell you credit matters. Yes, it do matter for certain things, but like if you just traveling and stuff like that, you don't need credit. Don't get no lease. Because if you get a lease, that's when they want to do background checks and credit checks and stuff like that. Get your Airbnb game. Yes, the value of Airbnb has went down, but a lot of y'all like y'all not using it. Y'all not hacking it. Y'all not using the right way. Uh, getting the Airbnb game where I'm not talking about the investment side. I'm talking about just to stay in. The reason why the Airbnb is cold because he don't do no credit checks. He don't care what your background is. Don't care about your credit checks. The only thing he care about is you paying their money and don't turn anything up. Follow their rules. It's just that simple. You follow their rules, pay their money, and don't turn it up. You good. So Airbnb game is simple. You ain't gotta go through no strenuous process to have a place to stay. And it's already furnished. They got water in there. Then they got Wi-Fi. Some of them got cleaning supplies already put in there for the most part. It got a bed in there with everything on. It got everything you need as if you was to have a regular place to stay, right? And that's better than leasing because you lease, yeah, you have a guaranteed place to stay as far as it being in your name that you signed a contract, but you still got to provide all the cosmetics of the house, the couches, the furniture, the TV, the Wi-Fi. You got to pay to get the water cut on. You got to pay an instant deposit, stuff like that. Where Airbnb, you know how to do all that. So y'all got to take advantage of the Airbnb. Another thing is travel light. Travel light. The most you need, unless you know you're gonna drip and you can afford it and you want to drip on the road, drip while you're on the road. Not drip is having some good fashion while you're on the road. But if you're not one of them type of people that care about their fashion on the road, travel light. Like I say, get you 5 pair of shoes, your work shoes, your play shoes, your gym shoes, your mission shoes, your casual shoes, and I think 6. What you call? Your Sunday's dress shoes, right? Then get you a big, for some people, get you a big travel bag. Like me, I got a military bag. I travel with a big military bag where I can put clothes in there, pairs of clothes and stuff, socks, and I can put everything in there. And what another thing that can secretly help you is get you one where get you a big bag, but get you some vacuum sealed bags too. So when you on the road and you in them Airbnbs and stuff like that, hopefully you click the Airbnbs that come with an iron and a vacuum. If they do, great, but don't. Get you one with um a vacuum sealed bags. So what you can do is you put all your clothes and stuff in the vacuum sealed bags and it'll suck it up. And then it'll make more room in your bags. So you can be able to put more stuff in it. But it will wrinkle your clothes up. Yeah, it'll wrinkle your clothes up for sure. But you can be able to put more room in it. And you gotta keep in mind too, your selection process of the flights, like baggage and stuff like that, because if it's over a certain weight, they'll charge you. So you gotta keep that in mind too, right? Travel gadgets. Y'all gotta invest in more travel gadgets, especially like my women and stuff like that. Y'all on the road. I ain't saying like take like weapons and guns and stuff like that, but you know, get y'all some pepper gel and stuff like that, gloves or rain boots, umbrella, stuff you think you may need on the road, take it. And the most you probably need on the road is about 2 bags, two good big bags, and you'll be good. If you travel like that, but if you want to travel light, travel light. But look at some gadgets that you may need. But if you don't think you may need it, you'll figure out as time go. When you start traveling and stuff like that, you can start investing in different stuff. One thing I started investing more in when I was traveling, phone mics, and then I picked up a portable charge and stuff like that. You'll start picking up on certain stuff that you need on the road. But don't overpack because again, they gonna charge you for having all them bags at the airport more than what you signed up for when you initially paid for your flight. Another thing is find you a good healthcare plan. Find you a good healthcare plan. It's one I can't think of right now, but find you a good healthcare plan where you can spend a few X amount of dollars a month and you can basically get to any healthcare in the world. Now, if you're military, you're a veteran and stuff like that, you're good for the most part because some places have military base and they use TRICARE and stuff like that. But even if you're military or if you're a civilian or regular smoke Joe, all places ain't got no base or they don't cover TRICARE. So find you a healthcare where, or a health plan where it can allow you to travel around the world and you can be able to, if you need to go to the hospital, you can be able to use that healthcare plan and go to the hospital while you're sick because you don't want to be sick on the road. You don't. If you do get sick, you can still get fixed, but like it's just a different process compared to being in your hometown, right? So find a healthcare plan that's flexible. Another thing, you gotta make sure you do eat right and work out while you're on the road. Because if you don't eat right and work out on the road and your immune system not strong enough, you'll be in the hospital more times than not. And you need to work out on the road because if you're not working out on the road, you could get fat. And then if you get fat, and some people you gotta buy bigger clothes, you gotta spend more money, right? So make sure you take care of yourself. Health is wealth. I ain't really got to talk too much about working out and eating right. Another thing is money management. When you go into other parts of the world, the places are cheap, especially in like the foreign countries and stuff like that. But you got to be careful just because it's cheap and you got a lot more spending power. You don't want to abuse your spending power just because you got it, right? Because you walking in line between buying and affording. Now again, if you got more money and you can make it come in every month, reward yourself. But just be careful because you can find yourself spending more money because you feel that you have it to spend. So you know, don't fall for that psychological trick. And then also the last thing, know your laws before you go into these countries. I've been seeing articles and stuff like that where You get like at podcasts I've been hearing stuff about where like on the podcast dude mentioned he slapped the dude back because he slapped him and they took him to jail and they didn't have no self defense laws like that out there, and I think that was in Tokyo, and he had to do some jail time. Or like Dubai, that's another girl. She was somewhere and she raised her voice at the people, and they took her to jail. When you go in these foreign countries, you gotta keep your emotions in check. That's why I say you need help before you go out there. When you're in these foreign countries, you need to know the laws, know what you're doing, especially if you're one of the ones who you know y'all always in situations where y'all like to test the waters and do certain things and stuff like that, and you active in the field, you're not really as civilized. You definitely need to know the laws. And if not, network with people on them expat websites, intern nations and stuff like that. Network with people who have traveled or go to travel groups on social media and talk to people who do travel and ask them about the laws and stuff like that. But you still need to do your own research on the laws before you go out there because you don't want to be somewhere out your comfort zone and you in jail or you in a bad position. And it's harder to get in contact with somebody in your hometown because now you got to pay for a SIM card and all that stuff to get in contact. And you don't have that. Now the police or whoever got you, right? Not saying they're going to do it, but you give them the opportunity to take advantage of you and charge you outrageous prices and stuff like that. So again, that's just my perspective on this conversation, man. Another conversation with Drip, right? How to manage traveling on the road. So that was just a quick rundown. This video ain't gonna be super long. It was just straight to the point and stuff like that. So I put y'all up on a lot of game. Again, more bangers on top of bangers on top of bangers on the way. Hey, hit that like button, hit that comment button, hit that subscribe button, share this video with as many people as possible. And then, till then, till next time, tap in, lock in, tune in, salute. Yeah. Oh, also, I forgot, right? Because I know I was talking to somebody else about this, about traveling. As soon as I got off this blog, the initial recording that I did, right? And they was telling me about, them traveling, they plans for travel, right? I was giving the same advice I did to y'all. But he reminded me of something. Folks with like kids and family and stuff like that, yes, you can still travel even if you got kids and a family and stuff like that. What you need to do is, it depends on the situation of your kids, right? So we're gonna start the kids, for example. If you're not a family person and you just got the kids to take care of, it depends on two ways you can play this, right? You can one, you gonna have to have the money regardless, right? If you don't have the money, figure it out, get more money, right? Where you can be able to absorb the cost of them, plus do what you gotta do. It really ain't no excuse because it can still happen regardless. Uh, but if you got young kids and stuff like that, and you want to travel, take them with you. Take the kids with you, especially if you got a good relationship, or if you want, and if you got the bread like that, you go and leave your kids with the mother or the father, and then you can co-parent overseas. Kids love that. You take them to a whole another country overseas. Kids love it. Now you may have to stack up some more bread depending on how many kids you have to make that happen. But hey, they'll love it too. So kids ain't really no reason to time down. But if you got grown kids in college, 20 years old, or young adults and stuff like that, then it's a little bit easier. You got to worry about babysitting and stuff like that. So you can still be able to travel with them. The only thing you lose out on is probably the physical, but if you want to live your life, man, your kids understand. Y'all, there's plenty of ways you can communicate with them. Google Meet, Zoom, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Twitter, plenty of social media threads that you can do, right? And if you married, let's say if you're married, you can still travel too, right? And it's actually better if y'all married because double the income, double the fun. So if y'all got two different incomes coming in, you can live off one, but if you got two different incomes coming in, let's say, like I said, minimum for a single person, let's say if y'all bringing in 6,000 together, that's more than enough because y'all can get y'all a decent spot. Y'all ain't got to get nothing too crazy because some places overseas for 600 to maybe $1,000. So if you put that down on your Airbnb for the month and then get monthly stay for everybody watching. Monthly stay Airbnb, regardless if you're single, married or not. Monthly stay Airbnb. You get that right? 600 to $1,000, and let's say y'all together, y'all bring in 6,000, right? You got 5,000 to play with, more than enough. Sometimes you may have to be frugal a little bit. Y'all may have to take the bus. Don't get like when you overseas, don't be trying to get no car unless you really, really got like that. You don't really need no car. Get you a good location where you can walk to everything. It's good for y'all. Y'all need to exercise anyway. So y'all can walk, y'all can run, or invest in the e-bike, get you an e-bike and stuff like that. Or like, yeah, it's plenty of ways that y'all can still make it happen when you got a family and stuff like that. So it really ain't no excuse when you got kids and stuff. Now, if you got newborns and stuff like that, it's gonna be harder because you gotta be there to take care of your kids, because they can't fly and stuff like that after up to a certain age. But again, like I said, it ain't no excuse. But just look at it like this: if you got kids and a family, it just require you to make more money. Make more money where you can still make it happen. Um, double the income, double the fun. Hey, but again, officially this time, I'm done with this video. So I just want to give y'all that. Hey, I'm gone.